Welcome back to Times Now Live. I'm Siddharth Talya. It's our special focus story this time from Jammu and Kashmir, where over the last 1 year, the Kashmiri Hindu family of Bantu Sharma feels cheated and betrayed. And this has happened twice. First, Bantu Sharma, a railways constable, was killed by terrorists in September last year when he came to his home to meet his family. And now his mother's house has been vandalized and looted. The family says that valuables such as gold as well as silver and even utensils and clothes have been stolen from the house. After Bantu's killing, the mother had moved to a secure zone in Vesu, hoping that the administration would provide them with a secure accommodation. But when they returned to their original home in Wanpoh, to their utter shock and dismay, they found the house broken into and all valuables stolen.
We're at the house of Bantu Sharma, a policeman who was killed last year during an attack. And ever since then, the family left in a hurry and they were asked to shift to a safer location. They managed to go to Jammu and then later on shifted to their daughter's place at a migrant camp in Kulgam. Recently was that the entire house was ransacked by miscreants and the valuables inside were looted. I'll ask Shafiq to show you a bit of inside that, you can see that the valuables have been ransacked and then also there are stuff which is lying around this particular house. We're trying to show you these visuals that even the electricity wiring done on this house has also been removed by miscreants. Police has started investigation in the entire matter. They're looking for the people who are behind this. Remember, Bantu was working with J&K police when he was attacked by militants and later on succumbed to his injuries. Ever since then, the family has been living in fear and they moved from this particular location. You can see the condition of this place because nobody has been living here. So the entire house, is in a bad condition. And they moved out of this location to other safer location and they say that they haven't gotten help from any of the government authorities in all these years. Even they are living with their daughter at a Vesu camp here in Kazigund area of Kulgam district. But now pictures tell you the story that the house was looted and ransacked by miscreants.
The family of Bantu Sharma is in agony and pain. At a time when terrorism was at its peak in the late 80s and the early 90s, the family of Bantu Sharma did not leave the valley unlike many other Kashmiri Hindus. And even after Bantu's killing, they stayed put in the valley. But the administration has failed them once again. The mother who lost her son just last year has her eyes welled up yet again.
लड़का सा गोडनेथन मोरहम लड़का वन तक बान वान कह तम सुन पुरसाना तह द्राव न कह सह कम मोर क्या मोर तमुक तह द्राव न कह वन गरी बान वान बिस्तर विस्तर सोरे सोन गहन गरी ये कमर कह नान माइग्रेंट पत आये कोर नश वन गर सामान अक दो लट दिस नजर कुल्फे वन गई उतर तत कहें तत कोट पतलोन ब्रीफ के सोन गहन यह सोरे निमुत खोश चनस क्युत खोश त्रेश चमाव तथ क्युत खोश कुन सोरे साफ कर सोरे कहें कहें तमुल नुत पत्थर द्राम निमी तो तमुल फिरवत पत्थर तत वन कहें यमिस पलव चे दोप शुरन वन पलव अनव गर तत साफ कर तत कहें तत कहें।
हमारे घर पे सर चोरी हो गई जब पिछले साल हमारे भाई की वहाँ शहादत हो गई वानपू में। हम अकेले एक ही फैमिली वहाँ रह रही थी। पिछले 32 सालों से हम ना माइग्रेंट हुए ना कुछ। तो वहाँ से जब मेरे भाई की जब डेथ हो गई तो इसके 1 महीने बाद हम यहाँ वेसु लाया गया। तो वहाँ हमने देखा कि वहाँ सारा टूटा फूटा पड़ा है। तो वहाँ से हमारे जितना भी सामान था, हमारे पास सोना था, तान पे कपड़े नहीं थे। मेरी छोटी 2 बेटियां हैं, माँ साथ में है, बीवी है और एक ही और ये छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं मेरे। अब मैं बोलता हूँ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से तो हमारे लिए उसने कुछ नहीं किया। रहा था मकान वो भी ख़त्म हो गया। वहाँ से हमारे ये टीवी थे, सोना था, चांदी था, तान पे इस वक्त तो हमारे तान पे कपड़े भी नहीं है।
जब वहाँ गए तो वहाँ देखा मैंने बाहर से ही वो ग्रिल था हमारा लगाया हुआ, वो देखा मैंने तोड़ा फोड़ा। फिर जब मैं इनको बोला मैंने अंदर नहीं जाना है, बोला कि मैं यहाँ तोड़ फोड़ हुई है, क्या पता क्या भरोसा है कौन होगा अंदर क्या होगा, आप SHO साहब को फ़ोन करो। फिर उन्होंने फ़ोन किया तो पुलिस वाला एक आया, फिर वही गए अंदर। जब देखा अंदर की हालत, वहाँ सारा कुछ लूट मार कर अब जो है वहाँ पे ला कर वाकर वो भी तोड़ फोड़ के रखा है, कुछ नहीं रखा है वहाँ।
अगर बात की जाए 90s की, ड्यूरिंग 90s देखा जाए सब पंडित वहाँ से मूव कर गए जम्मू की तरफ से, बट ये एक ऐसी हमारी फैमिली ऐसी थी जिन्होंने मूव नहीं किया। उन्हें इतना ट्रस्ट था वहाँ के लोगों पे कि वो कहते थे कि नहीं यही है हमारे सब कुछ, हमारे करता जाता हमारे साथ सब कुछ गलत कर सकते हैं, बट हमारे जो पड़ोसी हैं ये हमारे साथ गलत नहीं कर सकते। बट लास्ट ईयर मेरे ब्रदर के साथ विश्वासघात किया गया, उनको मार दिया गया 17 सितंबर लास्ट ईयर। तो एक विश्वास हमारा तब तोड़ा गया क्योंकि ना तो हमने मूव किया था वहाँ से और हमारे पास पूरा ट्रस्ट था वहाँ पे लोगों पे। अब किसने की चोरी क्या किया कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ा, जो हमारा सामान था सारा का सारा ले गए हूँ, और जो थोड़ा बहुत हमारा विश्वास था वो हमारा आज टूट गया।
Now, even as Hindus in Kashmir are being hounded, terrorized and killed indiscriminately, the silence of some political leaders in the valley continues to shock. Remember how in the past the likes of Farooq Abdullah fumed when we asked about the indiscriminate killing of Kashmiri Hindus. He said it's not his problem. Let's remind you of what he said.
Who am I to appeal? No, it's not my job. It is for Government of India's job. It's the Prime Minister's job. Not Farooq Abdullah. It's the Prime Minister, not Farooq Abdullah.
Lalit Ambardar, activist as well as Majid Haidari, political analyst, join us on the broadcast for their perspective. Mr. Ambardar, this is something that's extremely tragic, where a family that lost its family member due to terrorism last year are now in a situation where their house, where they'd been living for generations, has been looted. Questions being asked of the administration and their failure to guarantee security to Kashmiri Hindus.
Look, I'm not shocked. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised, because genocide is not mere physical extermination. Genocide is also to erase the symbols of the existence of the targeted community. It's not mere ransacking of a house. Just imagine, this is the time, around this time, they are commemorating, the family is commemorating the death anniversary of their son. And today, what they have seen is just, they put it in very simple words, the betrayal of trust. They have been betrayed by their neighbors. And what has been happening in the past in Kashmir, I know your panelist here on the channel, he has also said it on the, I've heard him on the television say, he has seen his neighbors, the goods and item of his own neighbors, like harmonium or a piano, was sold right in front of him. Gas cylinders were sold in front of him. This has been happening. In fact, there are certain pockets in Srinagar where they used to hold like Sunday Bazaar, where they will sell the products, the items they had looted from the houses of Kashmiri Hindus who had fled the valley. This is what Kashmiri society is all about. It's not just the terrorists you got to blame. You don't have to, the jihadis you have to blame. It's the people, the society is Islamized totally. The people who have ransacked it, can you imagine, just one house, one family left in the village, and their neighbors just watch. You can just say they watched. They didn't come, camouflage or something. So this is basically continuation of a genocide, a symbol of genocide, that we want to erase your memory. Just remember, the mother is recalling, Mere Kaleen, Mere Bartan. And in a Kashmiri society, like the rest of the traditional societies across India, the bartan means a lot. The utensils means a lot, because, we have a tradition when it's memories she was talking about. We have a tradition when a child is born in the family, or a bahu, a newlywed, the boy is getting married to a wife on the first anniversary, or even during the marriage ceremony only, we buy utensils and brand those, engrave the names of that person, a child or the bride, on that utensil. So it's also about the memories that are being erased. It's not just mere ransacking. It's not just looting to loot the courts, is just to erase the symbols of existence of the genocide, the survivors of genocide.
Stay with us, Mr. Ambardar. Let me take this across to Mr. Haidari. Mr. Haidari, like Mr. Ambardar said, this is a telltale sign of ethnic cleansing, where there's a deliberate attempt to rob a family that has stayed in Kashmir for generations of its dignity, even in death, a year after Mr. Bantu Sharma was mercilessly killed by terrorists.
Well, sir, this is the continuity of tragedy of Kashmiri Pandits. And I would say that when Kashmiri Pandits are not safe in Kashmir, how can their property be safe? And I'll tell you why Kashmiri Pandits are not safe in Kashmir and why their property is not safe. So today only, Apni party led by Altaf Bukhari is holding a major political rally in Srinagar. And we have some of the schools shut, we have restrictions, some kind of restrictions in place, and we have traffic police advisory for the people for the do's and don'ts for today. So I would say that the BJP government is concerned about Altaf Bukhari and his party, but not for the Kashmiri Pandits. Because if Altaf Bukhari's political rally is such kind of a priority for the government, why is Kashmiri Pandits' life not a priority for the government?
So the law and order situation, I completely agree, Mr. Majid Haidari. Those are questions that actually have to be posed to the Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Manoj Sinha, as well. But the silence of the other parties in the fray in Jammu and Kashmir is also telling, is it not? Because it's the likes of Farooq Abdullah, the likes of Mehbooba Mufti, who have a selective amnesia with regards to what happens in Jammu and Kashmir. The story of the Kashmiri Pandits is completely lost in their own narratives, when a lot of them have actually been in power, when a lot of these things were happening in the valley, very much in their presence. Would you condemn them for their silence as well?
When my own Honorable Prime Minister invites him to his residence on June 24 last year, how can I condemn him? He is Honorable Member Parliament. He has been selected by the people. Why should I condemn him? Why should I question the government for its failures? The government is concerned about Altaf Bukhari Sahab and his rally and his workers, but not for the Kashmiri Pandits. The government is concerned for the reopening of multiplexes, but not for the Kashmiri Pandits. The government can provide...
Let me have Mr. Ambardar come, because he disagrees with what you're saying, Mr. Haidari. Mr. Ambardar, what's your rebuttal to what Mr. Haidari just said?
See, I don't accept this shedding of crocodile tears either by the so-called mainstream in Kashmir or the panelists you are on the channel. Kashmiri Hindu genocide did not begin in 2014 when Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, took over, right? Genocide began in 1990, right? Under the watch of Farooq Abdullah, who was the elected Chief Minister, and that coward fled on 19th of January 1990 and left Kashmiri Hindus to the mercy of Kashmiri jihadists. And you had a Home Minister, India's Home Minister, first Muslim Home Minister, Mufti Mohammed Sayed. He exchanged dreaded terrorists for the release of his daughter, but went paralyzed politically.
You're talking about Rubaya Saeed there, Mr. Ambardar. Thank you, Mr. Ambardar, as well as Mr. Majid Haidari. Unfortunately, the saga of killings continues in the valley. It goes completely unchecked, and the administration among the other parties in the valley will have to answer. We'll now, of course, turn our attention to the state of Telangana, where ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Telangana's Ramagundam, banners questioning Prime Minister Modi over his failed promises to Telangana were in fact put up.